It's a more interesting matchup anyway.
Yeah.
You guys are live.
All right. Welcome back, Star Wars fans. Justin Miyashiro here, and I got Garrett Larson pairing up with me.
What's up,
How's it going,
y'all?
Garrett?
Not bad. How you doing?
Pretty good. Saw some interesting games so far. And looks like we've got, this is going to be a pretty interactive match, I would guess. We got Hayes Hunter on Agents of the Black Sun against Dennis Reinhardt on HITCO.
So this matchup's going to be, having played this matchup from both sides, this is going to be almost entirely how ready Hayes is for HITCO. Like if Hayes is ready for HITCO and Hayes has the things like hidden weapons and the cards to get Luke off the table aggressively, this will go real bad for Dennis. But if Hayes can't get that going, it'll go real bad for Hayes. Like this is going to be this will not be a long drag out match, I don't think.
Yeah, it's certainly one where both players are going to be deploying to sites pretty regularly, so lots of opportunities for interaction.
I expect we'll see a bunch, and I expect we'll see Hayes probably play a little slow in just building up what he needs to go take down Luke. Like I don't think you'll see the kind of traditional quick spread AOBS, especially because HITCO definitely has the ability to come at a lone guy and do some damage.
Yeah.
So
One thing that I think has possibly changed here about the way that this matchup played pre-errata, HITCO's a lot less strong in space than it used to be. With Hunter and the Falcon being changed so it can't carry passengers. Like, I definitely recall pre-errata playing some games both with AOBS and against it with HITCO. And it was like, all right, like we're jockeying back and forth, we're trading, and then AOBS went to the system and Lightsaid blew them out. I was
and
like, oh, well, that was a
depending on
mistake.
what Dennis has for space, this could be the same thing. Like I expect, Hayes, I think will go a little slower with space. Again, I don't think there's any rush for Hayes to try and rush guys out other than to respond to Dennis.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think one of the strengths certainly too for AOBS in that regard is like they really don't have to go to space until they're ready, because unless HITCO has a Tantive package, HITCO's not really going to be able to go to the system until Darkseid does first.
although I would expect the Tantive package to be something they'll consider.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and Lightside also has to work a little harder to set up their package, to set up their space package, because whereas before it was like, oh well, I have Hunter and the Falcon V and Princess Leia V, so you're dead. Just like
yeah.
Destiny to power and 2 Battle Destinies and 8 native power and just destroy you.
So we see Dr. E and Ponda and Mara Jade with lightsaber as the agents.
Pretty typical,
quietly.
I would say. Dennis
And
is wasting no
Hayes,
time with his shields. He's just going straight for the 2 Sense Alter shields and the grabber.
and Hayes is, I'm assuming, going to pull fanfare, or he did, and it's off table or off camera to grab the bounty.
I would guess his shields are probably just underneath the inset, the camera inset
Nope,
there.
he just hadn't grabbed it yet.
Oh, okay. He was just pulling everything for the
Yeah. That's one of the differences
up
between live play and GAMP is you do see some of that where it's like, look, I'm pulling 3 things. I'm just going to pull them all and
yeah,
we'll sort it out afterwards. So
in keeping with what you said, I'll be interested to see how Hayes plays out this first turn.
it'd be really nice to know if Hayes had a Emperor in hand. Okay. Like we said, you go quick style. Like here's the Vigo, here's the site the Vigo pulls, here's the site. Here's the other site it pulls, and then shadows for the 2-0.
Yeah, so the slow version of this art that I have seen AOBS players do sometimes is they'll pull the square and they'll pull Vigo because he's in there and you don't want to miss. But then they just don't pull the battleground site the first turn and just draw a couple cards and consolidate and get everything ready. So that when they do deploy the battleground site, they are prepared for Lightside's attack. The other thing that I've seen them do sometimes is you pull the Coruscant Caesar's Palace and then you move over, but you don't pull the other site. And the reasoning for that would be so that you can Caesar's bounty on Luke when he comes down and he doesn't have a
Yep.
battleground to run to.
Yeah, and that's, I can see benefit to that, but at the same point, like I think having the force and just being able to, go next turn, whatever he does. Like I think Hayes is probably not moving because that does feel a little, well, okay. So apparently I'm wrong. Hayes is going to go just hyper aggressive. Dennis now fixing the sites. That was going to bother me otherwise. Thank you, Dennis. Might as well get the last one too, Dennis. Come on. Oh, he just left the square. Oh. Hmm. So we know Hayes has got a Shizor's bounty. Thank you, Dennis. Now I feel much better.
And now Dennis should be activating 9 here by my count. 2
Yeah.
for his effect in himself, 4 for his sites is 6, and 3 for Hayes'
Yep.
3 battlegrounds. So that does mean that he won't be able to like play Luke and another guy, right? So the Caesar's bounty is going to be good here on turn 1.
Yeah. But at the same time, like Hayes didn't really pick anything up either.
Yeah,
So sending Luke and taking a shot,
just to burn the bounty.
I'm not even sure I would. Like I'd put Luke at the Endor and there's the Captain Utani.
Oh, he missed on his docking bay pull. That
Ooh,
is unusual.
that's yeah. All right. I haven't seen a blue card yet.
Yeah,
That's
maybe no ships.
all
That
right.
that is information that Hayes having on turn 1 is going to be really powerful for him.
Although it could also be the flip. Like he
It
could
could also be.
have a Han Chewie and the Falcon in hand,
Mhm.
and Hayes might say, "Oh, you have no ships," and instead get hit going too late. But that just doesn't.
I mean,
Hayes doesn't usually play that risky aggressive if he doesn't have to.
no, and this doesn't seem like a matchup where he really needs to.
No. So where is he putting Luke?
So Luke Rebel Scout.
Yep.
It's a
And
good,
he's
it's a
getting
pretty
bountied.
good Luke.
I'll be honest, I don't really like putting him there. Like, I don't think you need to go after him at Coruscant. If you put him at the Endor site and you keep him on the 0 side, you're winning that race right now. Like, going there just risks you losing Luke. And that just
Uh,
feels,
Hayes should be flipped back. I'm sure they'll catch that in a second.
yeah.
He's gonna pull secret plans
I think he
as
might be thinking of
Dennis
switching it to,
flips.
I think he might be playing Coward instead.
Hmm,
Like, there's no need to do secret plans. Just do Coward for the moment and force Dennis to hold to be on 2 battlegrounds.
yeah.
And he's looking at the top card of Lost Pile, which is the only card in Lost Pile that's knowledge like that. Just happens to be the only
Yeah.
card in the Lost Pile right now.
I think you probably still pull secret plans because you don't care if he retrieves that card.
Yeah,
Like the only way it's gonna matter is if you're trying to force lightning Luke,
which
which you
is,
could do with AOBS, but it's gonna be really hard to
yeah,
actually set up. Like,
but that would be the card I would consider, like using his destiny, using prophecy to get that back, just so you don't get
oh, I'd much rather be
the
trying to
force
get
lightning.
I would much rather be using his destiny to get back Anakin Skywalker me.
I think we saw one in the reserve.
I would assume that he's playing one. It's a strong
Yeah.
enough card that
Oh,
I
it's an
would
outstanding
assume
card.
Hitco's playing one.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. So Hayes has got a bunch of force to work with.
So no battle plan or order on either side.
Now, the question is Hayes going to forget about that and still drain and not drain? Like Hayes usually doesn't make that mistake. Yep, I think he's going to. He just pointed to it, so I think we're going to see a drain of 1. Yep, and
Yeah,
there went the Dust Star 2 site.
yeah, he's not going to need that.
Yeah, I don't think the only reason to put that out is if you, especially if you get a card or 2 stacked there, like Yoda there becomes really hard to take care of.
Sure.
All right, so Hayes is going full on.
Is Aura Singh?
Aura with gun right in front of Luke. It's going to cost him a force to shoot if he wants to battle because of
Oh,
Rebel Scout Luke in there. He's
that's
paying
a
it.
force probably for a battle. He's shooting and misses 2-3. It
Yep.
was a Probot and a Sense
And
combo.
there he's paying the 1 for the shot. Yep, he forgot the 1 for the shot and they fixed it.
Ah, yep.
Playing Jabba's through with you to add a battle destiny. And we see the swing back. 4 and 5
5.
says she's hit.
Yeah. Luke's draws are +1, so
Yeah, so 5 and 6, you're right.
yeah, it's gonna be really hard for
Battle
Aura to live through
Destiny
that.
is a 3 and a 3.
Which
So
does not kill Luke because he has the
yeah,
hand.
the +2 from the hand
Oh, and he draws a
keeps him
4, which makes it
alive.
a 5,
Ooh,
so he's 11 power against 10. So
yeah,
that battle went as badly as it possibly could have for Hayes.
yeah, that could not have gone worse for Hayes.
Because he has to stack a card, give Dennis a card off of his destiny.
Yep.
He has to lose, he has to peel another one. He didn't eat a force field, he didn't eat a blaster deflection, he didn't kill Luke. Yeah,
Yeah,
like just everything went wrong there. That
like I,
was
with the Jabba's through with you, I actually like the play from Hayes. Like I like the
oh sure, yeah.
aggression.
I think the play was
That
fine.
was
It was
just
just yeah,
yeah, that was
that's
everything that could have gone wrong did.
sometimes early in the game, you're sometimes early in the game,
Yep.
the
So we
draws
see
just
the
don't go well
disarmed,
for you. Oh yeah, because the disarm doesn't do anything anyway. May as well
and
lose that.
he's losing it from hand, so
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
known card, and yeah, he doesn't kill.
He's figuring out he's gonna peel 2? No, he's still
No,
has to peel 1, right? He should
so
10.
Luke is
Oh no,
6.
Luke is power +2 from the
Yeah,
hand.
the
So he
hand.
has to
It's
peel
power and immunity +2. He's not defense value.
3 here.
3. Ouch.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, that's a couldn't have gone worse. And I don't think you can just walk the Vigo and Shizar in front of Luke now. Like
no,
you're eating that drain of 3. And Dennis gets to peek at a card. Like, oh,
oh,
that's
he's showing us the forlom from his hand that I think
did
Hayes is
not put down.
I think Hayes is indicating he felt he should have played the forlom, which I think he's probably right.
Yeah, I think the Forlom, you pay the 1 to cancel Luke's text, so you don't have to pay for it
Yeah.
with Aura, and then you make sure. I think he took a risk that,
Yeah, Hayes is just gonna Gick
yeah,
and Dennis is gonna grab the Gick, which makes a lot of sense.
yep. But yeah, I think Hayes took the risk, and I
And
think it
I mean,
honestly,
as we said, I think the odds were in Hayes's favor that like he was at least gonna kill Luke.
yeah, the odds of him missing the swing and proceeding to draw poorly enough for Battle Destiny that he fails to eliminate with 2 is pretty narrow.
Yeah, he got all
Because
of
the
his
deck with
sights
all
out of his
those
deck too.
emperors
So
are,
run Luke run Clash
oh
time.
good lord, that
I
would
don't.
be.
I mean, Dennis already had a lot of luck here, right? Like it's fine if he just drains for 3 and draws, right? Like that's you know.
Well, first he should grab his top card off of the objective, and then yeah, he
Yes.
should. Although I'll be honest, if one of those top cards is Skywalkers and he gets the Run Leak Run Cat Clash Skywalkers and just
So
murder,
Hayes loses Django, U3PO, and
and a
Emperor.
super autographed Emperor, I like it.
Dennis does take his card from He Will Bring Balance. Look
Yeah,
at the top 1 cards of your reserve deck and choose one of them to
And
put in hand.
Dennis is counting, which makes me think there might be.
I mean, the aggressive play turn one by Dennis going down to use up the bounty on turn one certainly would suggest to me that he is interested in more battles,
Yeah,
right? Because he's used the barrier that Hayes is guaranteed to get from on turn one. So
yeah.
now it's going to be a matter of what other defense does Hayes have
Does
for
he have
Zero
another
here?
one?
A
And I
Runlu
mean, it
Grud would be.
is. Yeah, Run Luke Run and Clash or Sorry would be insane. And I
That's not a good sign.
that sure looks like
So
a Run Luke Run is coming.
General Aaron Kraken, who's a pretty powerful character, but does not draw alone.
And there's the
Okay, so
barrier.
his does have the barrier.
Now,
Dennis
does
is
Dennis have one more
okay.
guy?
Steve saying the signals run the ground. Yes, it
Nope.
definitely does. All right, he
He
does not.
signaled the Run Luke Run, but he didn't want to risk the.
He didn't want to rest a counterbeat sense on the run the
Yeah,
ground. Right? Like Hayes sensing this turn was probably not going to work. But if Hayes gets another
yeah,
turn to like play an Emperor and then battle into
yeah.
Kraken and be able to sense run the ground, that could swing the game back around. So
That would have been that would have been bad.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like Dennis might have had a gick. Like that feels like a play you don't make without some sort of gick.
Eh, no, because I think the worst case scenario is this, right? The worst case scenario is you got buried and Luke moves over.
Well, if you started the battle though, and the Run Luke Run got sensed,
Yeah, but he has to draw a sense
yeah,
against a
he's got to
3.
draw two. Dan coming in with the key info in chat. The Browns are apparently beating the Texans right now. Okay, 5. That says Mara probably.
Mara or Boba?
Yeah,
Boba wouldn't be. Oh, I guess he has
Boba
the
plus
Forlom in hand.
Forlom would
He has the
be
Forlom in hand,
pretty
so
nasty. Okay, so Mara
no.
there.
Mara to flip. So Mara
Well,
there means that Zizor and Vigo are probably running away.
I'm wondering if you use Mara to then go grab a grab Aura, get your Aura Sing back right away. But yeah,
Uh,
I think there's no
do you
way
have
you're
to
battling.
do you have to control that for that?
I thought you did. All right, so he's going to space early. I think he is saying, I didn't see any space. We're gonna,
Yeah, I mean he's got to adapt now.
yeah, and shuttle Vigo up to get the battle plan, move
Uh,
Shizor over, and hope.
Caesar's Palace Sewer, the light side needs to control it in order to retrieve a Corellian. Dark side can just use it whenever.
Okay,
So yeah, so Vigo's gonna shuttle up to first light. Is Vigo a gangster?
he's a Black Sun agent.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna assume he's not a. No, he is a gangster.
oh,
Okay.
he is a gangster. Oh, it's First Light. It's not the. I was thinking
Yeah.
it was the Fist. I'm like, that's different art, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. It doesn't matter though, because virtual Vigo's not a pilot.
Oh, fair enough.
So so if Dennis does have space to battle with here,
That'll
Hayes will
be
not get a
brutal.
destiny.
So, and Hayes is again peel 3 to the drain. There's another Emperor.
It
There's
should be just two.
P59.
It should be just two this time. Because
Uh,
the site's a drain -1.
oh, okay. Then it's just 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that P59, I think the next card on Hayes' reserve deck is probably his Dre and Ponda, unless
Yes, I
he's
think
running
so.
multiple P59s.
She could be.
Yeah,
Prophecy
it's a good enough
Prophecy
card.
Prophecy just moved to that site, Dan. So it was on
Yeah.
the uplink control station. So
All
now
right.
the
So
Caesar's
now he gets a
Palace is
docking
a
bay.
yeah. I think he forgot last
As
turn.
I say, he missed that last turn. That
Yeah.
was a. How crazy would it have been if he'd had? I don't think the
Battled
numbers would
into
have worked,
this.
but if he had activated them again,
Yeah, I don't think the numbers work on
yeah,
that.
the. 'Cause he's I mean, he's getting some force, but he's really not activating a ton. Like that's the thing. HITCO doesn't necessarily need to activate a ton.
I mean, he's activating 10, right?
So one,
Now
two, three,
11.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, was 10, now 11. Like that's enough for a guy a turn. That's sometimes enough. So
So let's see. It it
If
is
he's
going to be
got
a
the
question of,
HCF in hand, it'll be crazy, but he
yeah, it
may
is
have
going to
just
be,
gone no space.
yeah, as it's going to be a question of whether Dennis has space at all here. If he does, this is potentially very bad. Although Hayes left 2 force, he's kind of representing a barrier, right?
Yeah.
So here's Ezra, still representing the run look run.
Yeah. Well, I think he's absolutely has the run the grunt. I think Hayes has to
Yeah,
respect you know, it
yeah,
has to respect the run the grunt coming down. Although he's got a better chance of sensing now with Mara there.
yes.
So,
I mean, yeah.
well, and actually he'd hit the sense because we know that top card should be his
Oh, it should be a 3.
Dr. Ian Panda
I mean, he's going
going
to
with
lose
another
3.
barrier
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
activating one off of wipe. So that's the I understand grabbing the Gick. I think I would have saved to grab barrier.
I could see it.
Like I think the Gick, especially the way Hitco wants to be starting those battles. Like you don't want to just be sitting and following like this,
Hmm.
and that means you need to battle on your turns.
Yeah.
And if Hayes is running, 3 barriers and just keeps grabbing them, that's you're never going to be able to start a battle when you really want to.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be bad for.
I think Dennis took an aggressive line here, but I think the step too far in aggression might have been grabbing the kick.
Yeah. So
Because
now what if
what?
he's is sitting on the run Luke run? I kind of would have liked to see him just move Kraken over to Shizor with Ezra, just to represent a little more drain potential.
I mean, I think he's probably trying to set up a situation where Luke can run Luke run into either character.
Yeah,
So he peels a lightsaber and our only
our only
hope
hope.
to the drains.
Losing the lightsaber is kind of bad. Like if you lose Luke, you wanted that second saber.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like he had a walkling to use because he didn't start walkling. So, all right. So there's Afra. Afra is going to go immediately fetch him. Oh, he's grabbing U3PO. Okay.
This makes sense.
Yeah. Just use U3PO and hide, block the drain and run away.
He's
He's going
playing his favorite card in the game, U3PO.
to, he's going to put somebody with Afra because,
I mean, he could have a Greedo and then Afra
yeah,
can sit by herself. I think he's I think Hayes is assessing that he was correct on his space gamble.
I think so too. If he,
I was thinking like he maybe wants to add a pilot here in case, but like I don't know that he needs to.
yeah, if Dennis had space, it would have come down last turn
Hmm.
because the Ezra play wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh, these are moves for free over
So,
there.
and then there's the Ender celebration to immediately kill U3PO.
Yep.
Dennis is like, I'm not even playing around. I'm not waiting. It's,
I think he might.
what am I missing here?
I'm pretty sure free ride combos only works on your turn.
Oh, yeah, it could be. So now he's just telling him, oh, if you want to move in front of
Yeah.
me, go ahead.
Yeah. During your turn, target opponent's spy at a
Okay.
site you control and kill it. Um, I was like, I'm pretty sure that was the case because I definitely remember it coming up against Thrawn
Yeah.
that you could not blow up Blizzard 1 with free ride combo on their turn because it only works on your turn.
I've done it on my turn before, though. That's a
Oh,
really good
yes.
feeling. That's that's a really fun feeling. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, by the way, that walker, get rid of it. So I think Hayes was thinking about moving Mara over and then realized that that's just
Yeah.
asking for a murder.
Yeah, moving Mara over into what is this? This is
8, 9, 10, 11.
14 power and 2 destinies at +1 each.
Yeah. Is it 2 destiny? Oh yeah, spies and scouts. So
Yeah. That sure
Yeah,
seems like a way for Hayes to get an early break this round if that's what he
like
wants to do.
maybe he's got another gig he could play, but that doesn't feel like a good. He might have just drawn a bunch trying to find a sense or trying to find
Yeah, or
something, but
something. He needs an Emperor too, so he can start doing damage with Shadows. Shadows has been
yeah,
like a Twix puller so far. So
yeah, which isn't terrible. Like,
yeah.
having a Twitch puller is not a
Yeah, but you really want to
bad
be
thing.
really want to be drawing cards with it. That's
Yeah, no,
so
you need to be
Hayes
causing damage and drawing cards.
Hayes is gonna sense this. This seems very bad because
Sensing it, or if it goes through.
sensing it because
Oh no, you definitely want to sense that.
well, no, because Dennis has wise advice. So this free ride just gets cycled back in. He
Yeah, but
has
that's going to
he
take a
has
while.
he has do or do not also. So now Hayes loses the sense and two cards. So
Yeah,
he just ate the drain of three anyway.
this turn, and then next turn when he blocks it,
Well,
he's
but
up
next turn
force.
yeah, but he's gonna like Dennis is going to be moved away, right? Like he's going to
And
have
then he's going
deployed
to
something and
follow
run the
with
run and
U3PO.
yeah, but
Like
he can split up his
I don't
force
know.
here.
I think I'm perfectly happy with sensing that. I think it was the right play.
Oh,
So, and he lost a job of Space Cruiser, so he lost a card that has functionally zero value to him.
yeah. And
And then,
I never
yeah,
asked that question twice, I think is the card.
yep,
The
grab a dude.
puller for the first light.
Yeah, or
So
get back a dude.
yeah. I don't know. I think part of my consideration here is well that I mean that's fine. Part of my I was gonna say
Okay,
part of my
so
consideration here was mostly that
I'm gonna get him one way or the other.
um well was mostly that like Dennis has been telegraphing this like run the whole time. So like being able to
Yeah,
sense it, I feel like was potentially going to be very valuable. So burning the sense there so that to take three damage one way instead of three damage another way didn't seem like a good idea to me.
yeah. No, I don't know. I think it was.
I mean, the sorry about the mess makes it totally immaterial, but I think even excluding the fact that Dennis had another answer to U3PO, I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see how this turn plays out, I guess. Because obviously, if Dennis doesn't actually have another character to play the run like run, then certainly burning the sense there was okay.
yeah, and that might have been it as also, cutting the. So there's the
Oh, all right.
Yoda.
So now it's a question of whether Dennis has a react canceler for Greedo.
Yeah, it's
I certainly do love Odin Nestor combo, but I don't. It's not a guarantee that he's going to be playing it in this deck.
yeah. It's I usually play Neighbor instead, so instead we're going Ellis
No, he's just going to Ellis Afra
to
the
Shizor,
to Shizor for free.
and
Yeah,
all right.
Desidero doesn't matter because they moved to the palace for free.
No, no, he won't.
Oh, he's gonna cancel
Cancels with
Ellis.
quite a mercenary, which is used.
Should be
Oh,
used, yeah.
that's
Quite a mercenary V is also an extremely good card that people play in HITCO quite a
yeah.
lot.
I'm oof.
All right, so that's that. Um, I still would expect Hayes to have a Greedo. I
A
think
Greedo or a Gick, a
I
Greedo or
don't.
another Gick. He's gonna have some sort of
Yeah,
answer.
he saved four force. Well, three, I guess, because
Yeah, he
he
saved
activated with
three,
wipe.
so
Well, he activated with wipe. I think he has four active right now.
yeah,
Um, so he could play a Gick and a Greedo.
yeah,
I give. Oh, apparently this battle has happened, and yep,
and yep, pay two for the Gick. So
yep. So Dennis gets another card stacked, gets to take another card off of his destiny.
and
Probably
I
moves
expect he'll
Yoda.
move Yoda. Yep. which will give him an extra +1 power for.
Battlegrounds and reduces Hayes' activation.
Yep. Yeah, like this. If Hayes had killed Luke on with that aura, this is a totally different game. Instead, Hayes
Yeah.
got
Hayes has had to play from
behind
behind.
the 8 ball, and that's a rough spot to be in.
Hayes' body language showing is definitely frustrated. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I mean, it's a frustrating position. Like Hayes has the answers. Hayes
Yeah,
felt like his deck had the answers, and
and I don't think he made a bad play in there.
no,
Like,
I like the honestly, I think he could have played the Forlom. I think it was probably good not to,
yeah,
you
because
know.
I think the odds of Aura plus Jabba's through with you killing Luke there were pretty good, and
Yeah.
he got pretty unlucky.
And he would have lost the Forlom for sure
Yeah.
either way on that. So
And as much as you and I were just talking and quibbling about the sensing the free rider, it was like that was like a 1% play as far as like changing the outcome of the game. Like
yeah,
whether you're right or I'm right, I don't think is really going to make a difference to
no,
the outcome here. It was the aura play that went wrong for Hayes, and I think he did that one right. So
yeah, no, I don't think I'm questioning, and honestly, I think neither of us are really questioning any of Hayes's choices. The sense maybe wasn't a great, but like, what else was he going to do with it?
yeah.
There was not if he doesn't sense that, he has to worry about the mess. So he did just go get back the aura.
Mhm.
So he's going to go after Yoda, which I
Yeah.
don't hate. And, oh, he is
Ooh.
going
All
after
right.
Yoda hard. All right. Well, I don't think he's stacking anything this turn.
Yeah, it seems likely that he's not going to have to stack in that battle. And he
And
got
goes with
Emperor
the
out he got
free
Emperor out.
Emperor.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think you commonly see light side decks pull Goldenrod against AOBS. I honestly don't know that I think it's right.
Yeah,
Like,
I rarely do. The reality is if I pull Goldenrod, I made you pay 3 force once.
yeah,
And
two
that's not a
force,
goal.
two force ones. Ooh.
Yeah, good point. I was
So,
thinking it saved you 3 force instead
yeah.
of 5. So like it's
So
just not that good. That
for the
Destiny,
yeah, for those who didn't catch it, it was 3 5 5 6 6 in reserve
yeah.
for his. So
I'm
this
pretty sure he's gonna hit Yoda. And there's the
and a
first
first strike.
strike.
All right. So we'll see if
I'd like to
Dennis has a
see aim
Hootix.
high come down from Dennis. Dennis did not put out aim high.
No,
Okay,
he's
well,
gonna pull aim high now. Yeah.
does he get? Yeah, he said, hold on. So he'll get the aim high. He'll force. Hayes won't retrieve. Well, he might. He's got a couple force.
I mean, he
Yeah,
has to be able to move Caesar away, right? So,
yeah,
but he will be able to. So.
yeah. All right,
And
so yeah, hopefully Dennis has the Hujix, or
yeah.
this is gonna end
Oh, and
poorly.
he's even drew the 3, so he
Yeah,
knows.
so
So
he's gonna
he's just gonna draw 6 6 5.
17 in Battle Destiny
Yeah.
to
Against a
5.
5.
Yeah, there's the Hujix. So pay
Yeah.
1. Pay 1. Well, looks like they
I think he's just questioning where he's going to move Zizor here.
I just texted Chris to
Okay, yeah. I was like, I'm been slow on the Slack thing to make.
so he moves Shizor up, which I don't hate.
Yeah, that seems fine.
So hopefully Chris can come. Yep, there's Chris coming over before it gets fixed.
That's fine.
Yeah,
There's only one card. There's only one card on the
yep.
bottom. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's an easy fix, but
yeah,
it's
they'll be able to correct it here. Yeah.
it would have been much worse had he not had a force. Like then it would have
If he
been the SOS call.
if he'd not had a force, Hayes would have remembered.
I think so. I think Hayes would have been like, well,
Well, since we're going to win the game right now, I will make sure to remember to tell you that you cannot pay a force for your first strike.
yeah. So I like how
So
Dan called Hayes the Joe Flacco, and it wasn't just because Hayes is as old as the rest of us. So
I think Hayes is right in the middle of the bell curve as far as age of Star Wars players goes.
yeah, I mean, I think most of us are all
Because he's a year older than me. And like aside from the outliers like AJ and and Logan and the
most of
Ju
the Minnesota,
and all
you
the
know, or
junior kids, like
a chunk of the Minnesota group who, half of the Minnesota play group is younger than at least one of my kids.
yeah,
Like, I definitely don't, hate that every morning. So we see the drain of 2 here. And he had a whole bunch of cards and he just peeled 5 and 3. And there's the grappling hook to at least start
grab
making those
yeah.
barriers lost.
Yeah. I
Probably
think
grab them too, but
just as importantly to shuffle up since Hayes got to just see a bunch of good destinies and I could
yeah.
definitely see that being relevant.
Yeah, we know Hayes has got 6/6 on top right now.
So the most devastating comeback here would probably be like Ahsoka, right? Like Ahsoka just comes down and kills Mara and flip.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, I would have gone after Mara.
yep. And I think he's
Yeah,
just
there
said,
you
yeah.
go.
And honestly, I think keeping Luke and the crew right there so Palpatine can't move to that battleground
Yeah, I mean it's gonna take
is
Palpatine
the
two
way to
turns
go.
to move over anyway, so
Yeah, but this way there's just no chance he can move
yeah. He has Ellis,
in
so
there.
he could Ellis to a battleground, but
He might
oh,
not.
actually no,
He
the
already
Ellis
had
got
one
canceled.
canceled.
That's true. The Ellis
Like
got canceled, so
he
he
might
maybe
not
does
have
move
a
another
second
one.
one. And
Yeah.
there's the start the battle, pay 1 to retrieve that Hujix.
His battle should be free because he is on his zero side.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it should be. Well, that's an optional.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's you may initiate battles for free. I'm
Okay. I,
99% sure. I've played a lot of Hitco online. I feel like it gives me the option to.
I'm honestly kind of okay with HITCO with that always being the case.
There's 7 and a 3, so we're gonna stack
Yeah.
one.
It says you may initiate battles for free.
Yep.
I kind of like the choice of battling for free being optional.
So we're gonna stack a blind one and get to take a card. And Ahsoka's immune.
Because it's a 3, yeah.
Yep.
So that'll kill
Yep.
Mara, that'll flip HITCO. Uh
I mean,
now Dennis gets to
now
retrieve one.
I think if you're Hayes, it might just be time to say, all right, it's time for dinner. Like, I'm not sure how you get out of this. Like,
This seems really bad, yeah.
you drain for 1 and 1, and that's about it.
Um this is
Like,
yeah, like this is a spot where like and yeah, 2 Bobas are dead, so like you're probably not when your Django's dead, so you're not even worried about hidden weapons now. So like
yeah, I'm.
I don't know that I like moving Ahsoka, but that's whatever. But that doesn't really matter. It's fine. Um,
Um, is the sewer a drain -1? That'd be the only reason. Would be
Sewer's
if you want to
no
increase,
Sewer's
or you set up the run like run in
Sewer's
case he goes after Ahsoka.
yeah, Sewer's not a drain -1, so
Yeah, and that's Charlie just said the run Luke run. I think honestly, if you're trying to set up the run Luke run, I would have preferred to see Luke move to that center site, and then you just take all 3 Coruscant sites.
yeah, I think I like that better too. But
So,
on the other hand, Dennis might not want to commit to paying for 3 drains next turn, which I think is
and
reasonable.
he would have needed to save the Force for run Luke run and whatever else he wanted to do. Like that's
Yeah.
this is a tough spot.
Doesn't need to give up the possible blow of sensing run the card. Yeah. Ooh, just peeled 2 EPP OBs to drains.
Honestly, I don't
Well,
think those are a big loss.
Charlie General wouldn't be alone because Ezra is still over there.
Yeah, it would have been Ezra in the general and the one site, Luke in the middle, and Ahsoka in the end.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think he would have been okay with that, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't hate the play either way. I
yeah,
think you're fine protecting this a little bit. I don't think he retrieved last turn.
I think Dan's correct that Dennis is just mostly playing this safe, which, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I agree
you
with that.
may as well here.
So there's 4 for the Probot.
And
That
he
way he can
draws.
shadows
Yeah,
ping.
he draws with for shadows.
Yep. Yeah. For this sake, I wouldn't have hated the Probot at the Endor site, but then you can't shadows ping. So, I'm just gonna shuttle Shizor down with the Probot, and
You can't do that because the source is an interior.
is it okay? Well,
Move aura to the other side. I don't think you can do that because then if probe up gets blown up, you're off battle plan. I think you need to hold both battleground sites.
yeah, I think Aura at the battleground site is good.
Yeah.
I don't think the extra one drain is not worth the risk of you having to pay for drains the next turn because Probot alone, I can't fathom that there's not a single card in Dennis's hand that just goes and battles Probot and clears it.
Yeah. So one interesting thing here too, Dennis not running space opens up some possibilities, right? Like there could be an EPP Han in there, there could be a Chewy Protector in there. Like
Oh. Well, it would happen with Aura, but if you keep both of them at a battleground site, the odds of them both getting blown out and having to pay for drains gets a lot smaller.
yeah.
Especially when you back up Aura
Oh.
with Dr. E and Ponda.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So we're going all
Oh.
out. Honestly, I think that's the right play for Hayes.
Especially well, so the quite a mercenary just being lost creates some interesting tensions there, right? Like on the one hand, the quite a mercenary is gone, so Doctor E might be safe. On the other hand, like if Dennis has an Onita, then you just destroy Doctor E, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think and Dan said he's probably sitting on a barrier, and I think he probably is.
Yeah.
And I think you're perfectly fine. Just nope, this is what I'm going to go with, and peek at the top
So
two with
here's where we get
he's
to
the chosen one.
the one of the more powerful aspects of he is the chosen one is you get a lot of card access without having to use your draw phase.
Yeah. So being able to, peek and get a card, especially like get a character and leave a high destiny, just gets real
Yeah.
nasty real quick.
Getting to draw cards for winning battles is so
Yeah, it's he may just not drain. Oh no, he is gonna drain 3.
yeah. I would drain 3.
Yeah,
Like
because it's a drain -1, but then
yeah.
it's +1 with prophecy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hayes is already shield busted, so he can't pull resistance, so you may as well
yeah.
get some damage in there.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate the drain for 2 then too.
I think it depends on what Dennis wants to do with the rest of the turn.
And it depends on what's in his hand. Yeah.
No, okay, well, there's no resistance. Hayes has grabber, battle plans, secret plans, and fanfare. And
Yep.
he has not shown a shield puller yet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has like a cold feet or a turn off, but he hasn't shown it yet. So
And honestly, if he's got to turn it off, you're holding it for Lando.
yeah.
All right, I have no idea what we just put out there.
Probably a docking bay.
That'd be my guess. Is Dennis searched for that last docking bay and
He pulled some card out of reserve and put it off screen next to the where we know he has the other docking bay. So I would guess it's the last docking bay.
we'll give him the docking bay. And Hayes just says, "I trust your shuffle."
Just wants to get the 0 out of his deck.
Yep. Or something. Maybe that was.
That's probably Yoda's Hut.
Yeah, I was just to say probably Yoda's Hut. Just more.
I probably wouldn't have played Yoda's Hut to be honest with you here. Like he doesn't need the activation.
Oh, that's just dirty.
That is certainly the one that you want to fight Probot. Is Daughter of
Yeah.
Skywalker.
Potter who says, "I just need to draw greater than a 0," and
Yeah.
you have no game text.
So he's
So
got the
there's
barrier.
the barrier.
Now the question is, does Dennis have another card? I guess he can't run Luke front here because Luke's not in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
This would be where
this is
that
why I
Bith
think I would
shuffle
have liked
combo
to
would have been dirty.
I would have liked to split them. I would have liked to have Ahsoka be at the sewer and Luke in the middle, because
Yeah. I think that would have been a better play.
just cuts off the battlegrounds a little bit better.
Yeah. Because then you could have done the same, follow Leia. You could have
Yeah.
played Leia into Aura,
Yeah.
and
So
then you get the +1 power
no.
as well.
Oh no, it looks like Dennis is looking at a blue card in his hand. He has a Lando
Oh,
I think a blue card. Well, okay, the blue card doesn't actually matter because these are his
no,
power.
I don't think.
So,
Oh, yeah, that is a blue card. I'm
uh,
shocked I don't know how well, must have just not, might just have the one and,
is that a? Oh, that's a Cassian. Okay, it's Lando Cassian, blue card, red card. It could be
okay.
Tantive. So Cassian. Okay,
Which
that doesn't
is actually an interesting,
like.
that would mean if you had 3 Luke sticks. That'd be a surprise because he lost one earlier. So I don't hate the just Cassian into the Probot, retrieve a force, make Hayes lose a force, and then
Just cancel
Cassian
his
to
destiny
cancel the
draw.
battle destiny, which means you stack a card and
Oh
you
yeah, I
stack
guess
a
I
card.
guess I guess Probot is power 3. I thought he was
Yeah,
power. I thought he got extra power with spies, but that's his son.
no, it's he's
So
power 3. So
actually, yeah. This plays actually seems fine to me.
yeah, it's you're gonna stack a card. You're gonna have Cassian
You're gonna stack a
live.
card, cause 2 force loss because of first strike,
Yep,
and then like
I'm
Probot is pretty
and you're gonna
vulnerable
cause another
here.
force loss with that. So yep,
Yeah,
Cassian to assume you'll see Yoda put out of play. Yoda or Obi-Wan. I mean, he's got a couple in there.
I think he just retrieved the Obi. Oh no, he retrieved the Quite a Mercenary.
Yeah, put the Obi-Wan out of play,
Yeah,
and
it's
there's another one
Obi-Wan,
sitting on top.
but he's gonna lose force before any retrieval could matter anyway, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he gets to take a card with he will bring Bal, or he
yeah,
is the chosen
that
one, or
was
his destiny.
that was mean.
That was pretty slick. I like
I
that
like
play.
it. That was a very, very good play on Dennis's part. And yeah, if he is sitting on a Honshu in the Falcon, if Hayes drops Shizor at all, I gotta imagine he's going after it.
Yeah, I mean, if he has a Hunter, I think that might have been what he was thinking about. Is if he has a Hunter in the Falcon. Oh no, because Hunter can't take passengers, right? Right.
Yeah. So it would have been that's all right. So
Hayes is
that's the
showing his
reserve.
reserve.
I think Hayes
Eight
went
cards.
hunting for Force Lightning just to
Yeah.
see what it was.
Hayes is. I didn't realize Hayes was down that low.
Hayes is I think Hayes is in trouble. Although Dennis again did not retrieve with
He
his
wants to.
objective. Honestly, Dennis is tight
I
on
think.
force.
I think keeps wanting to save his 1 force for first strike.
Yeah. And that I think Dennis is tighter on force than it feels like. There's a barrier canceller. That would have been huge.
Ooh, those are some big losses.
Yeah, that's
Big destiny.
a lot of good destinies right off the top. That would have been nasty. He doesn't move the prophecy though. Hayes has only got one card in hand too, it looks like.
Yeah, none of those drains move prophecy.
Yep. And there's the shadows ping. All right, so
Okay.
Forlond blank Leia's text, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, I don't know.
That's
That
yep.
also
So
doesn't seem.
battle, pay one to retrieve one.
This is Hera.
Yep. There's battle destiny.
4 to 3.
4 to 3. So I assume you just lose Cassian,
Cassian. Yeah, you lose Cassian.
but you stack another card, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
And Hayes loses the Palpatine.
Emperor. Has to take another card in
Or I think
hand.
Hayes has to lose them both. There's no way you can just, oh yeah, you can just
Well,
lose Probot and leave
you can.
Forlom.
Forlom doesn't have presence. You
Yeah,
can
I
just
forget
retrieve.
Forlom can't be touched. So,
So
and there's the
now,
handshake.
yeah.
Yeah, that aura
Well,
battle was, I mean, that was it. Like, I
yeah,
think if he wins that battle, it would have been a very, very different game.
yeah. I mean, I think it does kind of go along with what you're saying initially, though, right? That Hayes, Hayes had he had the job as through with you and stuff, but his deck did not actually seem especially well prepared to battle Hitco. Like,
No, if he didn't have any, like, I
like
didn't see any hidden weapons. I didn't see any of the tricks that you really
no,
need to take care of Luke. Like, the
and
Forlom is cute, but
he had multiple disarms.
yeah, it felt like that was much more ready for something like Obi Muning
Yeah,
that wasn't going to be as big a deal as Hitco.
Yeah, like that's an interesting choice to me because even if we think Team 5 thought that Obi-Wan Communing was still going to be a good deck, which I think seems unlikely since I don't think any of them actually played it. Um, I think you would have to consider the prevailing opinion that it's not, right? So you'd
Yeah,
want to be prepared for something else, which I don't know. My instinct is you would want your deck to be prepared for Hitco for this tournament, but
I think so too. And I think, I do think Hayes might have just thought he could outplay Hitco well enough.
which I don't think is unreasonable. Like I think
Yeah.
like the middle of that game was actually like pretty close.
And he did have some answers. Like
Yeah.
when he went after Yoda, it
Yeah.
feels like he could have gone after Luke there
Uh,
equally aggressively with all those Destiny.
only if Luke was alone. Like Luke,
Well, I mean, 17 attrition would have
well,
killed
I mean,
Luke.
17 attrition would have killed everything, but like I think what you were hoping for there was an overflow and to stick a character. And like if you send Aura and
Yeah,
Boba Fett into Luke
you're
plus
not keeping them
Kraken plus
alive either.
Ezra, like everyone's gonna die.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna die, and neither of you peel is your best case scenario if in that battle, right? Like
yeah,
there's really no way that you're gonna overflow light side, and there is a possibility that like
it
Luke
ends
could have
poorly.
that Luke could have a clash or sorry about the mess, and then you just lose, right?
Yeah,
So
and that might have been
that might have been the math that where he's like, well, if he doesn't have the Hoodix, then I might just win here. Like you got to take your shot. So
yeah, and maybe that was it. Is just that, yeah, if you have the Hujix, you have a chance. If you don't have the Hujix,
yeah,
you know, if he doesn't have the Hujix, you just win. Otherwise, it's going to be close either way.
yeah. This takes Dennis to 5-0, doesn't it?
I believe so because I think he was 4-0
Yeah,
going into it. So yeah, that's good for him.
which
Dennis coming out.
should secure top eight, I think. With 36 players.
Yeah, I would think at 5-3 is probably in there, and with his strength of schedule's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well.
So, and his strength
I
of schedule is only going to get better at 5-0. Like,
yes, I say that after having had the discussion with Robbie in his interview of how I went 5-0 at Worlds and then missed. But you know,
it can happen too. So,
oh, is this
oh,
game
game
six?
six. Oh,
Okay,
then,
then maybe he's 6 now, and then he's definitely in. I thought this was
so,
5. No,
so
this is
Dennis,
6. Yeah,
after 4 games, Dennis was 4-0. This was the
Dennis
top
barely.
pairing, so Dennis was likely 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, we
I'm
knew that Dennis was better than
assuming
me. I don't think that was unclear. Dennis,
yeah,
can you hear us?
Dennis beat Jeff. So, hey, Dennis, you hear us? I'm gonna take that as a no.
Ah, there it is. I can hear
Oh,
you now.
we heard you down. Put the headphones on, Dennis. We can hear you. Can you
Okay,
hear us?
perfect,
Awesome.
perfect. Congratulations on the win.
Well, congrats on the victory. Looked like you played it very well. I know we kind of talked about HITCO versus agents can be an interesting,
Oh,
the battle can go quickly one way or the other. And I think, if Hayes had gotten Luke on that first battle, I think it's a very different game. So,
yeah.
yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
yeah. Charlie said stop paying for battles on the zero side. So you did because we talked about it because we were like, well, it's a May, so we can't even tell Chris to go fix it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, one of those battles was definitely for free because we were talking about the board state, and then you just drew Destiny. It's like, oh well, they must be in battle, I guess.
Yeah.
Like what's happened?
It happens. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
Apparently,
the
stream
stream
can't hear
apparently,
you.
yeah, the stream apparently can't hear you. So we'll see if Dan can sort
Sweet.
out why that is the case.
Dan signal activated. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, it was we were talking about it once Hayes showed the camera the four alarm. We're like, oh yeah, probably should have
Yeah.
played the four alarm.
I mean, I didn't hate the take the risk with, like, even if he doesn't have the four alarm, I think it's probably still the right risk. You know,
But with it being
yeah.
so early and you're not flipped, you don't get to see them, so you're not tracked yet either. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was a risk.
yeah, me and him talked about it. We were both like, yeah, it was a risk, but like you overall felt somewhat comfortable because you
right.
just have a decent chance of getting him. And then, but either way, he's like, I still should have just played the four lom regardless. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
sure. They
wouldn't have
can
hated
they can
that,
they
but
can hear you now, so we're good.
sweet.
so
So
no.
does
So
that
are
take you?
you 6-0 now?
I am 6-0. Yes.
Welcome to day two.
Thank you. Thank
We'll
you. It
just
feels good.
preemptively give you that one. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you're in.
Feels good to be able to just be able to relax if like I play a teammate in the next round or two. So
Yeah,
No,
I,
definitely.
I
It's
I'm pretty sure you would have to drop to not make top eight right now. So
I
yeah.
yeah I,
don't do that. You're probably good.
you never know. Wild things might happen. So
Just that ice cream party tonight's going to be too good, and you're just not going to show up
right.
tomorrow.
Yeah, the
Like,
ice cream party, getting drunk playing games all night, which most people don't advise when you make top eight, but that's what we're here for. So
all right, well, I mean,
Nope.
that's you do
What?
you, man. Go
yeah,
have fun. That's what it. I mean, this is what the game is about now.
right.
Like, it's hang out with your friends, get together. Star Wars is important. We want to play. We want to play well, but like,
100%. Yeah, I'm a big time
hanging out
competer.
with your friends is, you know,
Yeah, it's why we make
just
the
as
trip,
important.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did want to ask. I know the meta breakdown says there were a lot more Anakin sagas than Hitcos. What led you to feel like you wanted to go with Hitco this time around?
Um, just every time I would watch a game on Gemp or play a game on Gemp with HITCO, it's like, why wouldn't I? Essentially, is what I boiled it down to. Plus, I went to dinner last night with Chris Kelly and a couple other guys, and me and Chris were talking just because, like, we weren't like necessarily hiding decks, but we weren't giving out specifics. And I was just like, yeah, I think I might play HITCO or whatever. And he was like, well, I have a funeral pyre foil borderless, and I'll give it to you if you lock it in. And I was like, all right, that settles it. I'll lock it in. So I got a free borderless foil funeral pyre out of it. So and now we're
There,
6-0. So it ended up being the right call, I guess.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to convince me and Garrett. We are definitely two Hitco aficionados,
Right.
but
Yes.
I've been on Team Hitco for a while, and I think you described exactly what I see. Like, it's just a fun deck.
Yeah. It's
Like, every
it's
time I play it,
fun.
I enjoy the game. I feel good about how the game went, and like, even if I lose, I'm like, wow, this is,
Right, you're going down swinging. It's fun, it's
yeah,
interactive, and it's just straight up good in my opinion right now. So,
yeah. Like, there's no point where you're like, I'm just gonna use Luke and a saber and hit things. Like,
right.
that's fun.
Yep. Yep. Use the main and main light side character as intended with five of them in the deck.
And I appreciate the Hitco with Luke Rebel Scout. I'm big on Team Rebel Scout Luke being the best Luke
I'm actually a
in anything.
1-1-3 split.
Okay, so one Rebel Scout.
One Rebel Scout, one Young Skywalker, and
Okay,
three Jedi Knights.
I don't hate that. So
Yeah.
I think I did 2-2-1 the last one I was playing around with.
Yeah, we had
So
that. I had that for a little while, but like I'm assuming you're saying two Rebel Scouts,
two Rebel Scouts, two
Jedi
Ultra
Knights.
Rares, and
Yeah.
one Young.
Yeah. So
I think Young is the weakest of the three
yeah, he is. Except like he's amazing if you open hand him, or not even open hand, but if you get him with the Jedi's
with the
Fury.
guy. Yeah, with the Fury, you really like that. So
Yeah.
like they all have their ups and downsides. I've been working with Chris Kelly a bunch on,
Right. Yeah,
tweaking HITCO, and
he's the
that's always
worst
been one of those
one.
discussions.
He's for sure the worst one to get in your opening hand. Like if you only get one Luke and that's the Luke to get in your opening hand, it just feels bad. You're like, okay, I wish I had my immune 7 guy versus 6, or my guy
Yeah.
that limits them, like chokes them even more with the deck. So
Yep. Yeah. Because the choke even more is fun.
yeah, I personally went with the 3 is because yeah, the choking is fun and you can redraw the 1, but I'd rather just draw a 6 than redraw the 1 into a potential not 6. So
And that's usually the way that discussion goes.
right, yeah.
Like
So
some
It's
people prefer the redraws, like you did had it in your Saber Combat with Maul.
yes, oh yeah,
Like,
that's a completely different deck though.
yeah,
That one I think he is extremely necessary, and plus
there
there
is
is
no
no
Destiny
Destiny
6
6.
Maul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That might be a little broken. Destiny 6 Maul who swings twice.
Maybe. I mean, go tell Chris that's what you
Yeah,
need, and
Yeah, that's a
give
good
it like 2
idea.
years.
I
Give it like
should
2
talk to
years and we'll have
Chris,
that one.
but
yeah,
we can only hope.
it'll have
Uh,
it'll have a maintenance cost though, so it'll be
Yeah, it'll
totally
balance
reasonable.
it, I guess. But he also adds a
Yeah.
Destiny or something. Who knows?
I was gonna ask, but I think you basically already answered it. Because we were discussing, like Garrett and I were discussing the lines against AOBS early there, and you went really aggressively. Um, was that just because you had the extra Luke in hand, or was it just like you're playing against AOBS?
Well, I wanted to get the Caesar's bounty out, and in my eyes, it's like, okay, worst thing that happens with the second Luke especially, but like worst thing that happens to Luke is I die, his turn 2, but I'm like 90% chance I'm not gonna take overflow. So my lines going into the game was because sometimes AOBS won't pull their other sites; they'll just pull the one battleground. So if he did that, I was just gonna go to my battleground site and choke him. But since he deployed all the other ones, I went to his, draw the bounty out, and then just move away.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
I like
that
it.
is
That's a good thought process for players who haven't played HITCO or haven't thought about those lines.
yeah,
That's good learning
also that's kind of what
for
we were
folks.
thinking, and it is um nice for me personally to hear that that was your thinking as well, given that Chris Goglin and I were completely wrong on how Robbie was supposed to play WAP against Huntdown. So
sure.
so we were 1 for 1. We're 1 for 1 on the
Yeah, there you
on
go.
the
50%, that's not bad. You'd be making hundreds of millions in baseball right now. So, but no, I think the other thing too was, oh boy, now I just blanked. I had something, now I forgot. But yeah, no, it feels good. So now we just gotta root for the
So
teammates.
we were kind of trying to decide in your hand. Did you have a Hanchu and Falcon
I
in
did
hand
not.
there?
I did not.
Okay.
Nobody has seen that card played yet, and
Okay.
well, it doesn't look like anybody's listening, but people might put it in chat, but I don't care because I only have one game left. That means nothing. It's Profundity, so
Okay.
Okay. So it
I
was a
thought it
blue
was a blue.
card.
Yeah, I thought it was a blue card.
yes,
So
it
We,
was
we were
Profundity, and I could have gone to space if I wanted to, but like I was winning the damage race. Especially early when I could also retrieve if I wanted to, which I didn't with my objective, other than maybe once, I think.
Yep.
But I was winning the damage race and adding more pressure to ground, I felt like was the way to go. Like, sure, you can have your drain of one system, and I was able to hold Lando and Cassian for the longest time ever just in case I wanted to go there. It also didn't help that I didn't get any our only hopes throughout the entire game, so I didn't get my activation, and I also forgot to pull my docking bay like 3 turns in a row, so that was cool.
Yeah. We noticed all those things. No, we were trying to figure
well,
out with
some of
space. Like we thought, Hayes might have not seen space when he got that first turn reveal,
Right, yes. I
and
don't think he did, because I think he was holding Furry Fury for a long time, thinking Hunching the Falcon, which is what I had been playing on Gemp for a very long time. So,
okay,
but
so it was close. With it being Profundity, it's a little more expensive. You needed another pilot.
well, it's
I
only
get not
2.
going after it.
It's only deploy 2, so it's not expensive at
Oh,
all. Yeah,
yeah, good point. It's two plus the cost of the pilot. It's not as bad.
yeah, um,
So
yeah. I actually so like I think a lot of people were also fearing the like Furry Fury with Han chewing the Falcon, and one of my cuts was actually I wanted to have a Han with Heavy Blaster, but for whatever reason amongst our teammates we only have one copy here, and Mike Kessling was using it, so I ended up taking Han with Blaster out to give it back to him, and I added the Captain Yutani, which he was huge in a game against Entanglements earlier, just constantly shooting at adjacent sites. So
Yeah, Utani was a card I had sitting in Hitco for a little while just in case of the II Ag deck.
yeah, sure.
So his ability one, so you just be like, fine, take him. I don't care.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and he also works with Daughter, so he's immune to less than 4,
yep.
can't be sniped or you are beaten, and then also like works
If you
with
run insertion planning.
Kraken. Yeah, insertion planning was a card I thought about playing, but for me it's either a 1 or 3 of. I wouldn't play 2, and I didn't want to
Yeah.
find 3 slots, and I was very comfortable with the slots I had. It might like if I put 1 in, it probably would have been for profundity.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he works with like Kraken as well, so
HITCO's definitely a deck that would be really, really gross if you could play like 70 cards. So
oh, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of decks that would be gross if you
yes.
could play 70 cards. So, but yeah,
Cool. Well, we'll let you get back to enjoying being 6-0
For
thank
sure.
you,
It
thank you.
relaxing last 2 rounds here.
looks like we're getting close to probably having new pairings pretty quick here.
Yeah, I think if I look around,
A lot
there's
of people
only like
standing up.
1 game left. It looks like,
Yeah, see
and they
everybody's
might be
milling around
picking
in the
up
other
right
camp.
now.
So,
So,
well,
all right,
thanks for
guys.
stopping in and congrats on your performance so far. And
Thank you.
good luck the rest of the way and
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks again for streaming, guys.
All right. So we'll give it a couple minutes here to get that last game going, see what the next set of pairings are.
Yeah.
And go from there. So that was a good game. It was
Yep. Lots
fun to
going
watch.
on
Yeah,
as expected.
very, very active game. So I had to miss. I had to go watch my kid play in their hockey game, and their team got outshot 55-5, which did not bode well for
Well, if
the final score of that game.
it's like if they made all 5 and blocked 51 or more, then they did it, right? That's
They did not.
okay.
My son actually had a game like that once years ago where they got outshot something like 40-2, and they won the game 1-0. And then the team came out real mad the next game and won the third place game in the tournament by something like 15 goals. It was just absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So, and my kid's team finished second because they were not beating the champion team. They got their one off, never going to happen again kind of score, and that's where that went. So
That's how a lot of those feel sometimes, but
yeah, that's my kid actually played pretty well. Eddie played well. They're just they faced 55 shots. What are you? You're not going to stop all of them. That's just not going to happen.
Dan's showing off a picture of his streaming setup with his 3 screens and football.
Yeah, I saw Dan's all ready to go. But he gets to stream all day tomorrow because he doesn't have a Steelers game to watch tomorrow. So
I was just seeing the stuff with that the Bills were soliciting locals to shovel snow at the stadium because they were due to get 3 feet.
they do that pretty regularly. Like, and I've seen other stadiums do that too. They've done it here in Minnesota before with it used to be TCF Bank, the stadium on the Gophers stadium. That stuff actually happens pretty frequently, and they're like, look, we're not going to pay full-time staff. We'll come in. You guys can, everyone who wants to work for 4 or 5 hours, we'll give you $100. We'll have a bunch of coffee set up, and cost them 10 grand to just have it done quick and make everybody happy.
I'm pretty much just a baseball fan, so when it snows, we just don't play. And
yeah, that's you usually have to shovel fields off for baseball, although the Twins have been close the last couple of years in the early season games. So that's
There's been snow in April to block Rockies games, but also no one's missing a whole lot when the Rockies don't get to play. So
I
it's like, well,
mean, I'm
we'll
not
just
really
we'll
going to
just
argue that point.
we'll
Like,
just, we'll just see him lose tomorrow. That's fine. It's not a big deal.
we'll play it later. It'll show up eventually. So
Okay. So let's see.
so
Um,
Dennis is 6-0 for sure.
yeah.
So the 4-0s were Dennis, Jeff, and Cal, and Dennis beat Jeff,
And Cal's at table 3, so he's
which tells me
unlikely.
Cal
Yeah,
probably also lost.
it's unlikely to also be undefeated. Yeah. Um,
David Wood's making a run though.
yeah. He
Good for
was
him.
um he was on the stream last game, and his IE pounded Taco Bell's QMC. That
I caught
was
the tail end of that when I got home from the game.
Yeah, that was
So
real bad. Um, and I mean, as we were saying there, I mean, David's, he's put a lot of time and effort into learning how to play those Trooper beatdown decks, and that IE one seems really good.
Trooper
Like,
Beats always has a spot.
well, I think the distinction really is that the IE Trooper beats can do something, like as he showed in that game, can do something when you're not beating down.
Yeah, if you ignore them, you will lose that game because they'll deal 10 damage.
Yeah, like he got battle plan satisfied on turn 1 and then spread on turn 2 and did 8 damage on his third turn. And like it's like, oh well, yeah, we can't we can't just do
Yeah,
that. We gotta do something about all of that. And Bill's hand was a little bit slow, so he wasn't really able to put a lot together, but it certainly
yeah,
seemed like David just had the game covered on every side after that. Like he had plans for all of the things that Bill could do. So yeah, experience paying off for him. And I mean, I think they said he was playing No Idea on the other side, and he's doing well with No Idea also. So
no idea seemed popular. So
seemed popular, but also not like also perhaps unfortunately placed in the meta. Chris and I were talking about it that like um No Idea gained a lot from the new Jin because the new Jin is so good in that
yeah,
deck. But in this field, one of the 3 popular dark side decks is Thrawn, and certainly two
Ron
sets
ignores
ago,
Jin.
well, certainly 2 sets ago, Thrawn just pounds No Idea. It is really rough for No Idea, and Jin didn't change anything about that matchup really.
Yeah, because you basically with that you just go Thrawn to Scarif right away and
Yeah, and they
say good luck.
can't they
Like,
can't they can't do a lot to you from
and
there.
the art cards just add up so quick because no idea uses so many cards on table
Yeah.
to try and do anything. Like, because you can't go too thin because Veers on Blizzard 1, 2 Destiny can kind of wreck your day.
Yeah, it was a really rough matchup at the time. Certainly I wouldn't say that like we 100% solved it and knew exactly how it's going to turn out every time, but it seemed so far behind from there. And um, yeah, I don't know that it's changed enough to say that it's good now when it wasn't before.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tight. It could be.
so I would say that however it turns out No Idea did in this tournament, maybe not a full reason to write it off, because I think some of it could well be matchup variance in this particular
Who were
metagame.
the no ideas? David Woods is on no idea. So is Drew and Greg. And then
I know
Travis and Jeremy.
I know Greg was not having a great day.
Greg is at table 11. Drew Lichtenstein he was on table 5. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a chance they're doing okay with it.
Drew and Jeremy are both on table 5, so they're
Oh,
seem like
okay.
they're probably
So
doing pretty good. So a little bit variance. It seemed probably possibly a middle of the road by the end of it. Hard to say just on these numbers because some of it could be like, oh, my no idea went 4-0. My dark side deck went 0-4. Like I've
The
had
Justin
had that
Desai
happen
from
before.
Worlds. Well, my walkers went 4-0. Just light side didn't do much.
I had that happen at the John Anderson tournament. I went 4-4 because my TRM was 4-0 and ISB was 0-4.
Ouch. So it'd kind of be interesting to see what Carl's doing with Obi Munin right now. All right, looks like we got pairings. So let's see
Yeah.
what
Maybe we can get Carl on. Let's see.
so Dennis versus Sant. Dennis has played both sides. Ooh, Jeff versus MHT feels like a if neither of them have been on stream yet, that sure feels like the game
Couldn't
we
be.
put on.
Where did I put my Slack channel? Okay, there it is.
So Jeff versus MHT definitely feels like the game. Yeah, 2, and he said the same thing. 7 is Drew versus Joe, I think. Yeah, 2 is the right game. So we're gonna have Jeff Levine Dark versus MHT. So we've got Jeff Levine on Agents and MHT on QMC. All right, that'll make for an interesting game here.
We'll get agents back on again here.
And then I think we'll probably figure final round we'll have a win and in game.
Yeah, probably not table 1. It's probably table 4 or so, but we'll see. All right.
So Jeff versus MHT. That'll make for an interesting game. I'm gonna mute myself for a second here and have a bite of the popcorn my wife brought down because I got breakfast this morning and popcorn tonight. I am officially spoiled.